It's odd because most people consider small talk to be like the opening act at a concert, something you have to endure in order to reach the main event, genuine contacts and in-depth discussions. We all want that, don't we? However, you would discover that every conversation and relationship begins with small talk if you put down your phone for 2 minutes and glanced around. What classes are you enrolled in? Even your best friend got started, or some equally embarrassing bullshit. Here's a controversial opinion now. What you say is not important in small talk, for the most part anyhow. Making the other person feel like a human rather than a Sims character waiting for input is actually more important. That's all. You don't require charisma, a script, or even a cheat code. One thing you must learn: active monitoring. All right, I realize this seems like a nerd statement, but bear with me. The goal of active observation is to focus on the individual in front of you as if they were the only thing there was at that precise moment. Just the real physical details, not their atmosphere or mood, their drink, their shirt, and their constant glances at the clock as if they'd rather to be somewhere else. You take note of these things and then make comments about them that encourage rather than require a reaction. That's all. Actually, I could stop this video right here, but please stick with me for a moment. Believe me, you'll find it worthwhile. In any case, allow me to explain how this works. People love to feel seen, to start. In the cringe? No. In the straightforward sense of, hey, I noticed you exist. You're so deep in mystery. It's fundamental psychology. The need for recognition is ingrained in human nature. It's disarming, too. You're not pressuring them to perform when you make an observation. What do you do if you're not hitting them with? Or in 5 years, where do you see yourself? All you're doing is throwing a ball at them and waiting to see whether they'll return the favor. Here's an illustration. The person next to you is carrying a book at a coffee shop. What are you reading? Is what most people would ask, since they believe it to be the courteous thing to do. False. It's pressure. Nobody wants to explain, defend, or summarize, which is what you're asking them to do. Rather, that book appears to have been through some hardships, you say. Boom. You just made an observation, and you did it in an intriguing and unbiased manner. They might chuckle and remark, "Yeah, this is my third reread." Or they can reply, "Oh, it's awful. I just want to be spiteful and finish it." In any case, you've struck up a discussion without giving them the impression that you're conducting an interview. Or imagine yourself at a party, which is likely your worst nightmare if you're an introvert. A suspicious-looking dish of food is carried by a passerby. You ask, "Is that the chicken?" rather than avoiding them or ducking into a corner. It seems to have retaliated. Once more, you're not posing a query. You're pointing out something, and you're doing it in a humorous way. They might agree and laugh. They might even stand up for the chicken. You've opened the door in any case. Active observation has the advantage of being applicable everywhere. You name it. Family get-togethers, first dates, and work meetings. It is adaptable. It's easy. The best part is that it deflects attention from you. You don't need to be funny or appealing. All you need to do is notice and draw attention to things. It's as easy as that. Now that you know that active observation is all about focusing on the intricacies, patterns, and small details that most people overlook, what if I told you that there was a method to use the same idea for learning? Wonderful. Active observation is similar to brilliant. This entails setting your phone aside, removing your headphones, and surveying your environment as if you were the lead in a detective drama. What attire do folks have on? What are they doing? Are they browsing through their phone, checking their watch, or fidgeting? You may learn a lot from these small details. Secondly, You should work on converting those observations into remarks. Because they overthink it, most people become stuck at this point. They fear coming across as strange or invasive. However, the fact remains that nobody is as concerned as you believe. You can therefore comment, "That's a bold color choice, Sanad Tidat." When you notice someone wearing a bright yellow jacket, I honor it. Completed. It does not need to be unique. All you need to do is open the door. Lastly, you need to learn to be at ease with stillness. Not all observations will spark a discussion, and that's okay too. Forcing anything is not the point. People will have the chance to participate if they so choose. You move on if they don't. No foul, no harm. It becomes easier the more you do this. You begin to see that making small talk isn't a sign of interest or of impressing others. It's about getting up, listening, and giving them a sense of being seen. That's all. It works, but it's not very deep. It's also sort of fun once you get the hang of it. You may think that this is too easy to be true, but give it some thought. How recently has someone actually observed anything about you and brought it up in a way that wasn't weird? Most likely not lately. In actuality, individuals are too preoccupied with themselves to notice others. It's like a glitch in the matrix when you do it. Because they're not accustomed to it, people pay attention. I'll give you one more example. Someone wearing a tie with small rubber ducks on it enters the room during a Halloween party, which is another introvert's worst nightmare. The majority of people would either say something like, "Nice tie, not you," or ignore it. You're going to change. All right, you'll say, "I need to know the duck's backstory." You've taken it personally now. In a way that makes them feel interesting, you've transformed their accessory into a topic of conversation. This works with anything at all. Suppose you see someone's shoes. Simply state that things appear far too clean to be comfortable. What about their order for coffee? That's a lot of whipped cream for someone who doesn't appear to be celebrating, you may argue. You may even say something like, "I feel like your dog judges people, and I respect that," in reference to someone's dog. You see, you're not attempting to be witty or intelligent. All you're doing is taking notes and converting them into remarks that are vaguely intriguing. Additionally, you must mean it. Fake attention is easily detected by others. It won't work if all you're doing is this because you believe it's what you should do. Even if you just have 5 minutes to spend with someone, you must sincerely care about them, or at least something about them. And that is where many introverts, or individuals in general, stumble. Because we dislike superficial talks, we believe that we are poor at small talk. But if you're truly listening, casual conversation isn't superficial. This is only the initial layer. You'll come to understand that people are fascinating. Even when they're discussing dull topics, the more you engage in active observation. Try active observation if you find yourself in a position where small chat is unavoidable, which, let's face it, is the case in practically every social setting. Take note of something, offer a comment, and then let the discussion flow organically. You don't have to be the popular child. All you need to do is be there. When you master this, an intriguing thing occurs. Small talk ceases to feel tedious. It turns into an enjoyable game. Observing objects and observing people's reactions becomes enjoyable. You know it doesn't matter what you say, so you stop worrying about it. Making people feel seen, being present, and paying attention are what count. That's the main idea. Take note of the individual ahead of you the next time you're waiting in line at a coffee shop. What do they have on? They're holding what? How do they stand? Choose one item, comment on it, and observe the results. In the worst scenario, they become frightened, don't reply, and you go on with your life. In the best scenario, you've just connected.